Oh, are we
Live
live?
from the GCT studio. It's Saturday morning. Haha.
Say that with more enthusiasm, dude. I dare you.
Yeah, that's about as enthusiastic as it's gonna get. So,
Yeah, no one's watching anyway, so we can do whatever we like, say whatever we want, get as crazy as we want until our special guest shows up.
absolutely. So,
Um,
in the meantime, for our zero viewers right now, here's the intro.
hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, nobody watching.
Yeah, no one.
We need to put Stan back in the stands here so people will show up.
Yeah.
That's okay. This is going out as a regular episode today. Anyway, hi, George.
Hello.
How are you? Sorry I woke you up this morning.
Hey, it's Saturday morning coffee talk.
Well, you got us into this.
I did.
So
Yeah.
you only have yourself to blame.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to listen to this week's episode yet?
Not yet.
Oh, let me know what you think when you do, because it's all about cocktails, mocktails, and beers. Mm.
One of my favorite things.
Yes, I know. So I had to babysit you, but it's fine. It's fun.
So how have you been?
Oh, good. Honestly, I'm a little salty this morning. I've had to cancel my family visit in September, and we've bumped our Disney World trip from the first week of December to the first week of February now, just to be safe.
Okay.
Just don't want to take any chances.
Well, and I heard that with LA County, I don't know if it's true or not. It's just what it was talked on that just LA County.
Oh no, they've gone back to a mask mandate.
Yeah, they got that mask mandate, but they could possibly go into another lockdown. Just LA County.
And,
I don't know if that's going to be.
Honestly, I kind of see at this point, because I live in a state where it's getting really, really bad again. I've had one neighbor die, another neighbor's in the hospital right now. And Chris and I were talking, okay, do we want to take a betting pool on when the next lockdown starts and how long it's going to be?
Mm-hmm.
I think if we do it, it's going to be a lot stricter this time. It'll only last like a month.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back into lockdown.
No, I don't either. I mean, I personally feel like if it does that, I think it'll be depending on where your living status is. Like where more of like the rural states, that have like the So
that would be me. I'm in a rural town named after farming.
Yeah.
I see the Amish in their buggies go down Main Street all the time.
Oh wow! Yeah, we got Amish in our state as well. Up at the what is it? Yeah, of course. I live in the state, so I can't even remember the name of the area.
You are tired.
Oh yeah, I'm. Since Jess started with her new job, she works more of the graveyard shift. Because they don't have a whole lot of people, so
yeah,
it's all hands on deck. So yesterday she didn't get home till after 3:30. Well, I can't even say yesterday. I should say this morning.
Ouch.
Yeah. So as much
Ouch.
as I can, try to go to bed, it's just one of those things when your spouse isn't there.
Yeah, I can't do that. I have to wait up until.
Yeah.
And
So
vice versa.
yeah, yeah. So it basically now is she's working the graveyard shift, and apparently so am I. So
I've worked graveyard, and I can get away with saying this because it's not a dirty word. I call it the grave shart shift.
that's a good one.
Honestly, I kind of like graveyards and hotels because you had to run the place, you're responsible for yourself, and you only had maybe one or two crazy things a night, whether it's putting out fires all day long.
Yeah, definitely. That's fun. Oh, speaking of hotels, I wanted to get your opinion because I know you probably watched it with the behind the attraction.
CC. Yes, I did watch it.
I assume you watched the Tower of Terror.
I watched Jungle Cruise, then Tower, and then I went back to Mansion, Star Tours, and Space.
So, what was your overall thought of it?
Oh, so you didn't see our group messenger where I talked about it?
I saw it being brought up, but I never really went into reading everything.
It's a really good-looking show, and it's a great show for people who are coming into Disney or maybe don't know some of the history. For me, I was really bored. It was like sitting back in a 100 class because it was all information I've known forever. And so I found myself checking my phone throughout the episode, getting bored.
Okay. Yeah, because I've heard mixed reviews from people, saying, oh, they really liked it. They thought it was nice, but it was something for, as you mentioned, a person that is just getting new to the, Disney World or Disneyland, and they want to find out information about the attraction, which I did watch Tower of Terror, and I started watching Space Mountain, and I thought, it's nice. It's a nice fill-in type thing. But
yeah, it's a really good-looking show. I thought it would be really good playing on resort TVs at the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
I said, for me, someone who was into Disney before it was cool, there was no new info to be gained, so I got bored. I checked out. Sometimes when TV becomes a chore to watch, you've lost me. I was reading Helter Skelter, and I got to the last 60 pages and went, nope, can't read this anymore. I'm done. You've got to keep ADD away, got to keep my attention.
Keep you moving, yeah.
Keep my attention. We never talked about your trip.
I know. We were supposed to do a detour, and
I know, it's a flaky McFlake.
Yeah. I've been very, very busy lately. It's been I had all the time in the world on vacation, and then the second we got back, it was right back into reality.
And that's always the way it is. It's like as soon as I come back, I like to take a day off to just ease back into real life, but I always check my messages, my emails, and go, well, there goes that day.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I don't know about you. When I go on vacation, I don't want to hear about work.
No.
If the place burns down, I'll see a smoke signal. I don't need to know about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even, well, that was kind of my fault because I didn't even put a day in after to stay off. I immediately went back to work. And we had a somewhat of a delay coming back from Orlando to Pittsburgh, and it had nothing to do with weather. It had nothing to do. It was just more so something to do with the planes. They were heavily delayed going from California to Chicago to Florida to Pittsburgh, and for the inconvenience, we each got a $100 flight voucher. So we got $300. That'll take care of a plane ticket for.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm the king of flights. I got a lot of the costs went down by moving it to February.
Now, didn't you say you saved your tickets price-wise $75?
I got 2 nonstop round trip tickets to Orlando and back for $124 a piece.
Nice.
I mean, it's Frontier, so I have to exactly at the 24-hour mark when I can get my seats. That's what I do. I set a timer for my phone for like a minute before.
Okay.
Because you have 24 hours before your flight to check in and get your seat. So I always try to be the very first one on to get the exact seat I want.
Nice.
And here's a tip for everyone. This was a bigger guy. So what I did was I got us aisle seats right next to each other. So because I don't like the window. I like to have the aisle. I like the leg room. So this way we both have the leg room without squishing each other.
Nice. So it's when you say to the minute, 24 hours of check-in, as you just said, so it's to pick your seat, not as actually of how Southwest does it.
Right. It's to pick. Yeah, because for me it's a 90-minute flight, so I won't take Spirit, but I'll take the cheapest flight I can find. Because by the time we get up in the air, we're already landing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the one beauty part about the locations we're at now and going to Florida. It is such like a hop, skip, and a jump to get down there. Now, for me, for California, that's a little bit of a process, but
yeah, it's
especially if we have an overlay in Dallas. Because
see, I always make sure I never have to get off my plane. I cannot stand changing flights during the trip. I just want to get on the plane and land at my destination.
I did have an overlay once where, don't ask me why I picked this route. I'll never do it again. They actually flew down to Atlanta and then from Atlanta to Anaheim. That flight was so bizarre. And then by the time we actually started hitting into California, I was getting sort of kind of airsick.
Ooh.
So it was like, let's just land the plane so I can get off.
Yeah. Emergency protein spill, just land the plane.
Yeah.
Now, there is one layover I'm always willing to make, and that's in Vegas. And if I can get a 24-hour layover in Vegas, all the better.
I don't think I've ever had a layover in Vegas before.
You need about a 6-hour layover in Vegas, George. You don't even have to leave the airport. You can go have a good time, and then you're right back on your flight, broker than when you came.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's why I only play the nickel slots, because I know it's money I'm throwing down the toilet.
And then you go to Disney, and then you're even more broke.
God love Disney for that. But we do. We love Disney. That's why we're here.
Absolutely.
So speaking of loving Disney, I am looking at the Walt Disney World WW Magic forums, and I saw this rumor, and I had to share it with you and all of our listeners. Bottom of the page, Pixie Hollow to replace Swiss Family Treehouse ? Why does Tinkerbell and her friends feel like they have the right to move into Adventureland?
That's very bizarre because one, I mean, I know that they had the concept art for Pixie Hollow that was supposed to go into the new Fantasyland, which eventually was supposed to replace Mickey's Toontown Fair, but then it turned into Storybook Circus.
Thank God.
And yeah, and for me, well, one, the Tinkerbell movies aren't that popular anymore. You know, no one really talks about them.
I've never seen one of them.
Second of all, just like what they did with Aladdin, it doesn't fit in Adventureland.
No, and we have talked many times about how much we dislike Aladdin's magic carpets because it really makes no sense sitting there in Adventureland. Yeah. It's this overly cartoony thing that has become just a roadblock on a busy day. But
so basically what they're going to end up doing is it's going to be like, as far as like the placement goes, it's going to be Tinkerbell, Aladdin, Jungle Cruise, Pirates.
Right. And it's just a rumor, but what a stupid rumor.
That's a very bizarre rumor.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Why they would put Tinkerbell and her fairy friends in Adventureland. I could see it at Disneyland Paris, where you have Adventure Isle, and there's Captain Hook's pirate ship, along with the Swiss Family Treehouse, and the Skull Rock.
Yeah, when there's a set tone of a type of storyline, depending on what park you're in, as far as in the land that it represents.
Right.
But for me, especially with Walt Disney World, what they're doing with Adventureland is they're just kind of cutting and pasting just to fill in the land.
I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself here. Keep my thoughts of theming and immersion and storytelling to myself, but I think you all know what I'm thinking.
I mean, if someone had asked me which Adventureland is better, Disneyland, hands down, has the better Adventureland.
Oh yeah. I mean, I that's my home Adventureland, but the one at Disney World is so different.
Yeah.
The one at Disneyland is very jungle, very adventure. The one at Magic Kingdom is very colonial, and it starts with the Crystal Palace. So,
yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I want.
Can we not cram an IP into every inch of the park, please?
And that's what they're going to do. That's literally what they're going to do. Every single thing that they're going to change is to bring in the money of what is popular at the time and what's going to bring in the money.
Right, because I never thought I've always thought the 3 hotels on the monorail loop, they don't need characters. They are characters in themselves. I've seen the Moana rooms, and I love them. They look great. Everything about it works. But then I looked at the new rooms for the Contemporary and thought, I'm not paying $700 a night to stay there. It's too bland. It's not enough. They should have gone full retro rather than just paint it white and slap Incredibles on everything.
Incredibles on it, yeah, exactly. And me personally, I mean,
and having looked at the two, I'm even one. I want to say the Polynesian more now, but the Contemporary, no.
Well, and for me, I would have just left the Contemporary as the Contemporary. I don't really even see the need of why they had to put the Incredibles in there in the first place. It was
not everything needs IP. I mean, and some IP at Epcot would be great, but like they've ruined Epcot for me. I liked it when it was edutainment. I miss Horizons. I miss World of Motion. I miss Universe of Energy. And what they're replacing it with is great and all, but I liked it the way it was. Not everything needs to have it turns me off as a Disney fan to have characters shoved into everything because it takes away the immersion and the storytelling and the fantasy of it. You're no longer a character in your story. You're part of something else now. It makes it more passive.
As far as with Epcot goes, it really, for me, the only part that sort of still holds that originality that Epcot had, I mean, minus the attraction that was put into it, is the Land Pavilion.
Right. Which I still laugh when you think of all the classic, amazing attractions. Horizons, Journey into Imagination, Horizons, World of Motion, Horizons, Universe of Energy, Horizons. The boat ride around farming is the one that survived.
Yeah.
The slow-moving boat ride where the cucumber ride, as we shall call it now.
Yeah. Hey, people want their money's worth. They pretty much figure that if this is what's left, I want to get something out of it.
I paid all this money. I'm entitled to a cucumber. I don't like the complete takeover IP because, like I said, for me, you're no longer the main character of your story. You're part of someone else's story now. And even going to the parks as a little kid, I loved walking into my story, my adventure, my own film.
And I think even after the fact that these projects are done, as far as like with the journey into the Journey of Water, the Moana walkthrough, excuse me, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, Ratatouille, it just makes me wonder, what's going to be next for Epcot, because they're pretty much going to probably throw more IP in there.
I think I'm safe in assuming that every pavilion, country pavilion, will have some IP injected into it, whether it be Disney or something they bought. I've heard whispers of Rio coming, and that would be the reason to build a Brazil pavilion, was you have this IP you bought that you could cram at Epcot now.
Which I mean, I know that Rio is under the banner for Fox, but I mean, even to now, is Rio even popular enough now that they could say, "Oh, we can get something out of it"?
Well, we paid for it. We're gonna squeeze the money out of it.
True. Yeah.
But this is something you and I have talked about, and we'll have to do like a whole episode about this. Guardians is going to be great. Tron is going to be fantastic. Ratatouille, I can't wait. Remy's one of my favorite Disney characters. But then you go down the street and you see Hagrid's, which is this crazy, immersive coaster, storytelling coaster. And now you've got Velocicoaster, which people tell me is the best roller coaster in all of Florida. I'm ditching Epcot. I am ditching Animal Kingdom, and I'm spending 2 days at Universal Studios next time to take in Harry Potter and Velocicoaster and everything over there.
And that's the one thing with Disney that they have to realize. And I know that they don't want to make it a typical amusement park. That's not what they are. They're theme parks,
Right.
But at the same time, you still have to incorporate something that's going to appeal and draw to your audience. That to spend that money on a one-day ticket, is it enough that's going to fulfill your whole day of the price that you're paying?
And here's where I see conflict coming for Disney, because with someone like me who is Disney to my core is going, I can easily skip 2 of your theme parks for 2 of Universal's parks because what they have going on looks way cooler. Now you have a problem. When someone whose DNA is Disney is going across the street because their stuff looks better.
Mm-hmm. And just like as you mentioned with Animal Kingdom, yeah, they created World of Pandora, which is beautiful. I love Pandora, of what they did with it, because when I first heard the announcement that Avatar was coming to Animal Kingdom, I'm thinking, how is that going to work? But it works. It fits.
Right.
But after that, you pretty much have a theme park that only has 6 attractions. So after,
and I love Animal Kingdom, but I have no problem skipping it this time.
Yeah. So it's like after that 6, you go on those 6 attractions. It's like, okay, well, what do we do now? It's like, and they have the room. They have, especially with Animal Kingdom, like there's tons of land just within the park, let alone what's surrounding it. And it's like they need to pump out more to put in the day for people to get their money's worth. I mean, because even when the shutdown happened and everything started reopening, Universal went balls to the wall of saying, you know what, we're restarting Epic Universe. Mm-hmm. It's like they're not waiting.
I can't wait for Epic Universe. Universal Monsters will finally have not only a ride but a land. And I love my favorite horror films are the classic black and white Universal films. Mm-hmm. So between that and Nintendo Land and just how cool, groovy that park is going to be, I see my time at Disney being cut and more time being spent at Universal now. For my dollar, I want more. And it seems like if I cut half of my Disney and go to Universal, I'm getting more bang for my buck now.
I really think, the situation's going to be when Universal started playing golf and they built Wizarding World, mm-hmm. Disney answered back with Avatar. And I feel
they really answered back with Galaxy's Edge. And there's so much internal conflict that we got 2 rides instead of 3. It was slashed. We have no real entertainment in that land. There was supposed to be so much happening. I mean, what happened to the droids that were going to walk around, or the cast members in costume as aliens? Everything got cut.
And that's why more so I use Avatar as the example, because for me, Galaxy's Edge is nice.
Yeah.
But I don't spend nearly enough time in there as I thought I would.
It was cool. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, like you, once I did the rides, I was off to do something else because as cool land as it is, after about 2 hours, you're like, okay, move on. I don't need to immerse myself here anymore. And I know a lot of that comes from I really didn't like the sequel trilogy. They just weren't very good movies. We're gonna have to do an episode where Jada J dishes because I liked all the characters, but the movies were terrible. And so you've got this multi-billion-dollar land on both coasts, which is a problem because once you've seen one, you don't need to see the other. They're identical, except for a few small things. And they're set in a time and a location of the storyline that I just don't care about.
And I think there's no.
I would rather be chased by Darth Vader than Kylo Ren.
Once Rise of Skywalker came out, it pretty much set that Galaxy's Edge is locked in and it can't go any further.
Okay, I kind of have this thing in my mind where I bet you in 5 years, one of the Galaxy's Edges will be set in the Mando timeline or somewhere where you can get all these, because you've got the Ahsoka show coming. All these characters people love are going to want to be seen in the parks. I don't want to get my picture with Kylo. I don't want to get my picture with Rey, but I would get my picture with Grogu or Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care enough about these new characters.
Yeah, in time, Galaxy's Edge is going to have to do something spectacular of what we were supposed to get.
Right.
Because I really think, honestly, I was looking forward to riding on a Bantha.
So was I. Blue and green milk isn't enough to hold me.
Yeah, exactly.
Paying $200 for the lightsaber, I'm sorry, $220 for the lightsaber experience is cool, but I'm just not that into it. Same with building a droid. It's cool, but I think once I do it once, I'm going to be done with it. There's no need to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
And where you've got the Wizarding World, yes, you can buy a wand just like you can build a droid. Those wands are interactive, and you can go throughout the land and make things happen with that wand.
Yep.
The little data pad doesn't do that. It's games you can play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, so if they would have had the creatures and the droids that were supposed to be inhabiting the land, and you were to build a droid, and you can interact your droid with the droids in the land, that would be cool.
Right. There was so much promised, and while I enjoyed the land, it was more like a space version of Adventureland than it was Star Wars.
So, what it looks like it's going to be for me is everything that was promised to us for Galaxy's Edge is going to be in the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Right.
It's going to come with a price.
Which I really have a problem with. I mean, when you start cutting out the everyday family, that's just not cool. At that price point, it's so exclusive. So many people. What else? The sus power. What is the sus power?
I don't know.
Hey, E, we need you to elaborate on that for us. So I enjoy Galaxy's Edge, but it wasn't what was promised.
Exactly. So it brings me to the question that once Epic Universe starts taking shape, taking form, that do you think that Disney's going to have to bite back again?
Yeah, I think they're going to have to invest in all 4 of their parks.
Because you have to think, this is not just an attraction. This isn't a land. This is a whole new theme park. And now Universal is now tied up with Disney.
And it's going to be the most state-of-the-art park in Central Florida. I mean, it's built around new technology.
Yeah. So I guess once that starts taking form, Disney's going to have to do something with, as you said, with the existing parks, or potentially do something.
Because like I said, here's the problem. We're someone who like me, who has been Disney since he is little, who is Disney to the core, who got bored by the Behind the Ride Attract show because there's nothing new. When I'm going, I'm only going to give you half my time and half my money now. I'm going to give it to your competitor. Now you've got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this is coming from me, how many other people feel that way?
But I think that's probably why a lot of people aren't doing that, because Disney thinks, well, they don't care. You know, they're going to pay their money anyway. Might as well keep doing what we're doing. If
Right.
every Disney fan kind of stuck to their guns and they saw a dip in their sales or their ticket sales, their merchandising sales, I think Disney will then have to reconfigure their strategy.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to, because all my Disney friends love Disney, but my friends and coworkers who aren't Disney people all say the same thing. It is too expensive. It's this, it's that. So how do they get people coming back?
Yeah.
How do they get new people in?
And especially with, after these latest projects that are going to be finished for the 50th, it's like, well, then what's their plan now? Because from, the delays and the shutdowns and everything, are they going to be able to, bang out projects one after the other like they were used to doing?
Right. And I do feel bad for Disney, and they had all this great stuff planned for the 50th, and then COVID happened, and it's still happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it couldn't have come at a worse. I mean, it was a worse time regardless, but
right
at the 50th.
Are you going for the 50th?
What's that?
Are you going for the 50th?
I'm going to be for the 50th next September. So
Okay.
it's still being it, yeah.
We're going in February, and it looks like the weather's going to be perfect. The crowd levels are going to be perfect. The park hours are going to be perfect. They close at 9. So we're going to be able to get in and do every single thing we want to do without crowds, without heat. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it's before any Run Disney events, so it's super dead. I went through every single crowd calendar, website, touring plans, everything. And it's basically a 3 out of 10 for every single day we're there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we don't even need Fast Pass, Max Pass, any of it.
What's your thought of the possible new Fast Pass system? If it was
coming, I'm pretty sure it's going to come. I really have a problem with it. I don't think you should be paying more for Fast Pass. I mean, if it costs a family of 4 $100 to ride one ride in addition to those park tickets, I have a problem with that.
Do you think that's why they're doing it, to kind of flesh out a shorter line for it to be fast, and then just the other people just in the normal standby line?
I would say it's 2 things. I would say yes, that definitely. And 2, I think this is a Scrooge McDuck idea.
Just to kind of, bang for your buck.
Right. I mean, I shared with you guys that meme of JPEG watching a family of 4 at Euro Disney pay £60 to get on the rat ride faster.
Yep.
I would not be surprised if it was here before the end of the 50th. Along with the Genie app coming.
Yeah, that one was bizarre. When I saw that announcement at the expo, the last expo that they had, along with the promotion of Target, that was like, this isn't about parks and resorts. This is about consumer.
Right. And ever since they merged parks and resorts with the consumer, I knew it was going to go downhill quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Joys. Well, and then you have a person who worked in consumer, then became part of parks, and now is the head of the company.
Well, and we saw what happened, and I love Cynthia Harris. She's an awesome person. I worked at the Disney store before Disneyland, and I met her quite a few times. Wonderful lady, but it was not a good fit for a Disney store person to take over Disneyland. Oh, our special guest is here.
Yes. Hello.
Hey,
Good
good
morning.
Hello.
guys.
Hi, thanks so much for joining us, Jennifer.
Yes, I'm glad to be on.
How are you?
I'm good. A little tired. It's been a busy few days here at Walt Disney World. My feet are feeling it. But I just got done having breakfast at Kona. Had their amazing pressed coffee. I don't know. Have you guys ever?
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
And then their
you're making me
buffet.
hungry just talking about it.
I know. It's a have to every trip. And then just sitting out here at the Polynesian, feeling the breeze. So I'm gonna go do some resort tours today and head home. But it's been a great trip.
Tell us about it. We'd love to hear.
So my agency, the Disney sponsors trips with my agency to come and share on social media what's going
Mhm.
on, so that people can see what the parks are currently like, what our protocols are like, and just kind of get a feel for the crowds and what's available. And so we try to do research. So we come here, we try new restaurants, we try new resorts, we figure out how long it takes you on the bus. Is it better to take the Skyliner? Is it better to take the boat? We try to put ourselves in our clients' shoes, so that we can maybe give them inside tips and maybe save them time. Like, let us learn the hard way and you learn from us. So it's fun. We try to think like most families. Ways to save money. We look for things that normal people wouldn't think of. So it's fun.
Yeah, I've been watching along. It seems like you guys are having a great time.
Yeah, we do have fun. That's the fun part of the job, right?
Right.
For me, I'm out here sacrificing at Walt Disney World. My kids and my husband are like, "You're going on another work trip." Yeah, right. It really is work, but
You're taking one for the team.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. That's right.
It's for the business. It's for the business, honey.
Right.
How's the crowd levels down there? Because I know I just came back a few weeks, but I've seen a lot of photos that there's like amounts of crowd, especially at the Magic Kingdom.
Right, and it is. I mean, you can see a bunch of people and you're like, "Ooh, it's crowded." But I'm gonna be honest. The ride times that they're showing, I don't know if you experienced this, but we were going through much faster than what the posted ride time was, significantly. And I think because there's no fast passes right now, if you see people going in those lines, they're generally either a disability pass or maybe a ride swap. But the regular lines, because there's no fast pass line, are moving very quickly. You're not.
That is true because
Yeah.
the wait time for Splash Mountain was 65 minutes when I was down there, and it took 20.
Yeah, it's significant. It's not even a 10-minute difference. You're moving much faster than what they're posting. So we were able to get a lot of rides in. A few rides that seemed like they were going to be longer, we skipped. But then we would walk back later, and it would be like a 20-minute wait, where earlier it was over 100 and something minute wait. So if you're patient and just kind of go with what you look on the app and see what they're posting, knowing that it's going to be a lot less generally than what they're posting. So it's
Awesome.
encouraging. Yeah.
Yeah, because like for me, that's the most important thing is ride times. I was telling George I have a trip scheduled for February, and it's booked at the time it is because I looked at every single touring page and everything, and for crowd calendars, and it's a 3 out of 10 for when we're going. And I looked at the weeks and went, "That's the one. Lowest crowds, best weather. This is when we're going."
Well, and in the heat of July, no one wants to wait out in that direct sun for an hour. But the lines are moving. I think it's discouraging to see what they're posting. But if anyone's coming anytime soon, just know that it is. Be a little flexible, but it's generally going much faster than what they're saying. So.
Kind of like the old days before Fast Pass.
Yeah. I don't think Fast Passes probably are. My theory. I don't believe they're going to be coming back to the old way that we're used to. So.
I kind of hope so. I mean, I remember it in the day before Fast Pass, and I remember the day Fast Pass debuted, and all of a sudden the parks were so much busier. People weren't in line; they were everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was a pleasant surprise. We actually got a lot in. We weren't in the parks all day long. We would go in early for rope drop, do a few rides, get a few things done, maybe have lunch, check out some snacks. Then we'd head back for work to our room to cool down and get some work done, and then we'd go back in the parks at night. It worked out really, really well, and especially in that heat of the day. And for the little time we actually spent in the parks, we were able to ride quite a bit.
Awesome. I mean, I'm totally jealous, but happy.
It's been a really great trip. Really, really fun. Hard not to have fun here, though. I think.
Yeah, it is. You kind of have to make yourself not have fun if you don't want to have fun.
My perspective on this is it's all about how you view things and your expectations going in.
Mm-hmm.
Some people were looking at the lines and saying, "Oh, it's just too long," but we would look at the lines and say, it's moving really fast. So it's all about your perspective and how you view things. And I think if you go into it, really just kind of go with the flow a little more, you're going to enjoy yourself, knowing that not everything is going to be streamlined perfectly, no matter where you're at, no matter if it's Disney or anywhere else when you go on vacation. If you just kind of just have your expectations just tone it down just a little bit, and then you're not going to be upset if some hiccup happens and a ride breaks down. You're just going to go with the flow a little bit.
Well, when we were down there, I purposely told my wife, I said, we're going to be here for 2 weeks, but I said, it's going to go by too fast. So I said, let's kind of make ourselves miserable without being miserable. So maybe it'll go slow.
Right. Yeah. One thing I was seeing is that families, they're trying to get as much packed in every day. But in this kind of heat here in Orlando, there's just that's not a realistic expectation.
Right.
You can't have little ones or even adults push in this kind of heat. You have to have a different type of trip. You have to just kind of, priority, make sure you're hydrated, do some things to prepare for the heat. But you can have a wonderful time if you just kind of, like you said, not make yourself miserable trying to set yourself up for something that's really impossible to do.
Cool. I mean, Disney's always fun. I think you just have to be there.
I know it is. It really is. I mean, we've just had a blast. I'm not gonna lie. Like the fireworks last night were amazing. Sad that it's ending. Lots of people have been calling me trying to get in before Happily Ever After goes away around the 50th. So they want to see it one last time, and it was so neat for me to see it last night and know that that's the last time I'm going to see it. But I can't wait to see what else they come up with.
Now, have you had that same experience with Splash Mountain where you've ridden it and thought, oh my gosh, this may be the last time I see it in this form?
I did that yesterday. Yes, I did. And then I think it was okay. I had my peace with it. Like at first I was really upset they were going to change it. I'm not going to lie. I just like classic. I want that classic Disney. But then as we're out on the ride, I'm like, no, it's okay. Everything's got to change in life. Everything changes. And change sometimes is hard, but it's usually for the better. So,
but it's good. I mean, things have to change for them to grow.
That's right.
I got my last several rides on it, so I'm content.
You're content?
Yeah.
George was pretty upset when he found out that's his favorite.
I know. I'm kind of secretly hoping they do what they did with Tower of Terror, where like Disneyland, they changed it right to Guardians of the Galaxy, but then here at Walt Disney World, it's still Tower of Terror. So
as long as they don't touch Tower in Florida, because that's my favorite ride at Disney. I just don't touch mine. Yeah.
So that way, if you really, really have to have it, you can go to either Disney. One of them changes and one of them stays the same. I like that approach because then it's a win-win for everybody.
Right. I mean, we shouldn't have duplicate everything on both coasts. We should have a good varied experiences.
That's right. It's a reason to go to the other side.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you seen the Jungle Cruise changes? How are they?
I didn't actually get to the Jungle Cruise this trip. I know. Don't hate me.
And I'm our skipper.
I didn't make it there. Some of the other people on my team did make it there. They took some pictures, but I didn't get that far. I'm trying to think what else I've done. I did do the Lion King show over at Animal Kingdom, and I saw the changes that were made there. Have you guys heard about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have the tumbler monkeys. They don't do the aerial flight.
The birds. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in that. I was like, what? Wait, it can't be done. But I bet if you've never seen it before and that was your first time, you would be no different. But
right.
Yeah.
No. I saw you had
I've seen it many times, and trust me, I've noticed.
George has it memorized. I saw you had my favorite snack in all of Disney, the cheeseburger spring roll.
Oh, it was so good. But okay, but have you had the chicken? What was it? Chicken jalapeno.
Ooh, no, not yet.
So, oh, I'm telling you, the cheeseburger I thought was the best. But oh, it was what is it? Chicken chipotle. That's what it is.
Ooh,
So good. It was better than the. It was better than the cheeseburger.
okay. I can't wait to try that because I've already told my husband I'm getting 4 for myself, and if you
Yep.
even leave a crumb, I'm going to take it on your plate.
Everyone on my team, pretty much everyone, but I think Jaleesa picked the cheeseburger still. But everyone else that we tried it, we all agreed that even the chicken was actually more flavorful, even better. I'm really, in fact, some of the agents are actually going back into the bar today to get more of those spring rolls. I tried that new drink. I posted it. I can't even remember right now with the new Aloha Isles.
Yes.
Drink. The blue with the like
I saw it, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't.
I know.
Yeah.
You'll just have to go and find it.
As soon as we're done,
Probably-
it'll come out.
I told my husband that was probably my favorite thing I've ever had at Disney ever. It was so good. So, and I'm not one to ever just say, "Oh, I'm obsessed with this or this," but I could have one of those every day, twice a day. It was so good.
Wow.
So I think Magic Kingdom's starting to step up their game. I used to say they were the one that was lacking on the food side, but they're stepping the game up.
Yeah, they really. The last couple of trips I've noticed they're really kicking it up a notch with their food.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know. And it's not just because I'm our skipper, but I love Skipper Canteen. That is just my favorite restaurant at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm really sad. We actually had reservations there. We canceled it last minute to go do some other stuff, but you just can't get everything in. But
Right.
Everybody's going to come back. We'll be back in November, so I'll have to make sure and try that thing.
It's funny. I tell people, tell them Skipper Jay sent you, and they'll put you in the sea room. And every time I do it, they do.
Sometimes you just have to ask for it. If you have a preference,
Yeah.
they'll try really, really hard to accommodate.
Now, is this just Disney? Or are you doing Universal all on this trip?
This trip is just Disney for us. I was at Universal in April, so I go back and forth. But this trip was just in and out for Disney.
Cool. But if someone wanted to, Dream Creators Travel could do Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, do everything at once for them.
Yeah, we often do that, especially Universal and Disney. It's pretty seamless. A lot of people ask us questions like, is it better to stay at one place and then hop over for the day? And it just depends on what you're looking for. But usually a split stay is what people decide on. They usually stay at Disney, and then they'll hop over and stay a couple nights at a Universal Premier Hotel that allows the Express Pass.
I'm gonna have to pick your brain because that's what we were talking about before you came on. Is I'm doing my first ever split stay this year, half Disney, half Universal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. Leaving one property, going to the other.
Yeah, it's Universal. Have you ever stayed at an Express Pass hotel?
No, that's one of the reasons we're staying is to get the Express Pass.
Okay. Yeah. Once you do that, you can never go back. So, I mean, I think of myself as a pretty patient person, but not when I'm waiting in those long lines. I'm not. Especially when you're watching everyone else walk by you.
Right.
Like, how do I become one of those people? They stay in an Express Pass hotel, and it actually saves you money to stay in an Express Pass hotel than to get a value resort and add on the Express Pass. So it's about if it's important to you to have that, where you're waiting half the amount of time in lines, then it makes sense to stay at the premium resorts.
Cool. Yeah, that's definitely what we have on the agenda because we want the Express Pass. We want to get in early. There's rides at Universal. We have actually we're skipping half of Disney this time to do Universal because of Hagrid's and Velocicoaster.
So many good things over there.
Yeah, there's so much going on in Orlando right now.
Yes.
Have you experienced Hagrid's or Velocicoaster?
I was there in April. They hadn't opened the coaster yet. Hagrid's, of course, is amazing. It's the top for me. It's hard to beat that. I love both. I love both Disney and Universal, but my husband is just jumping at the bit to get on that coaster. He's my roller coaster guy. So.
Yeah, I've had friends tell me that is the best roller coaster in Florida, and I cannot wait to come down and do it.
I want to tell you one thing. One thing a lot of people don't know. Even if you're doing, like, if you're staying at a Disney property, you just want to go over for a couple days to Universal.
Mhm.
If the only way to get the early entry at Universal is to either stay on property, right,
Mhm.
or just buy your ticket to a travel agent. Just buying your ticket to a travel agent will actually get you the early entry at no matter where
Really?
you're staying. Yep, that's the only way to get it without staying on property. A lot of people don't know that.
And not just any travel agent, Dream Creators Travel
Well,
only.
well, of course we would. We're the, we're the best. But yeah, that's one thing I love about Universal is that for travel agents they really give us an edge. There's an incentive to book with a travel agent. It doesn't cost any extra, and if you're staying off property, like say you're staying at Disney, you
Mhm.
just want a couple days at Universal. By buying the tickets with us, you do get the early entry hour, which makes a huge difference, as you know, on how many rides you can get in.
So I've been doing all the booking myself. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm going to be emailing you because it sounds so much easier to give you my want and have you create it for me.
Well, a lot of people have, it's got to be hard because most people, especially with the podcast, we're all really into Disney. We're all really
Yeah.
into Universal. And we know a lot, right? Well, even if you know a lot, with a travel agent like us, we could just book the trip for you. You can take as much or as little control as you want. We're here just to help. What do you need us to do? If you just say, look, just book it, I want to do everything on my own, then that we can do that. But then if a problem comes up, we can take care of it while you're on your vacation. So
Nice peace of mind knowing I've got someone who's my advocate while I'm having
that's
fun.
right. That's right. We're almost like your fairy godmother. Like, Jennifer, this horrible thing happened. I got you. I got you. You go in the parks. You enjoy. I'm gonna handle it while you're having fun. You're on vacation. I'll let you know when I have it fixed. I recently had a guest at Universal. They wanted to take over control and plan it themselves. That's fine. Made a reservation for a restaurant, and they show up at the restaurant, and the restaurant turned them away and said, I'm sorry, we're not even open yet. There's no way you can have a reservation. And, we had proof, confirmation number, everything. And they called me, what do we do? What do we do? They say, we can't, we have a confirmation, but they say no. I'm like, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I made a couple calls. I got them in the same restaurant within the hour. And then I called and made a few specific calls to people I knew. And next thing I know, I said, "This is unacceptable. I mean, they can't do this." And they comped them a whole day of food
Wow.
for my clients. So
Wow.
if you're doing that yourself, that's not going to happen.
You know, I like the thought of having peace of mind of someone there taking care of it for me. No matter what, I have someone who isn't Disney or Universal that I can talk to who will take care of me.
Our goal is to make your vacation as stress-free and relaxing as possible. And if something goes wrong, because things happen, especially during COVID. I mean, we all have to kind of, again, expectations, right? Things are going to happen. It's not always going to be seamless. It's not always going to be smooth. But when they do happen, if we can help, we will. Sometimes there's nothing I can do, but
Right.
if I can do something to make it better or more magical, we're going to do it for you.
And like if I wanted to set surprise for like it's our wedding anniversary, so if I had said, Jennifer, can you arrange some special surprises in the room, or can you arrange something special out here?
Yes.
I could give it to you, and you would take care of it.
Oh yeah. I had a family do a surprise for Mom for her birthday. She thought it was going to be just her and her husband to Disney. And lo and behold, I've been working with the whole family, flying everyone in from all around the country, all the kids and grandkids, everybody. And I worked with the California Grill at the Contemporary Resort. I actually got contact there. We talked. I said, this is what we want. This is what the family wants. And they said, done. We got it taken care of. And we staggered reservation times. They worked with me on that because that's not easy when you're dealing with multiple
Right.
reservations. And we had the family waiting at a table, and Mom and Dad arrived last. And they walked them to the table, and the whole family sitting there. And it was magical.
Oh,
That's
wow.
awesome. And you can even do my flights for me, right? I thought you could take care of you can even do flights. You can take care of everything for us.
I can. I'm going to be honest. There's sometimes, depending on what type of flights we do, a lot of times it's less expensive. If I'm not booking it with a package, sometimes booking it on your own is less expensive. But I could at least advise you on what to do. I could say, okay, right now I could get you this deal, but you know what? If I were you, I'm gonna put myself in your shoes. I would do it this way, and this is what I'm gonna say. You're gonna save yourself some money to do
Right.
it this way or this way. So I do whatever is best for you, and so you don't necessarily have to book flights with me, but I can do the research and kind of like compare apples to apples and make sure that you're getting the best deal.
You really are a vacation fairy godmother.
But that's the fun part. That's why I love my job. I like to, things happen, and if I can make it better or smooth, I enjoy making it magical. I love it when I have families that come back to me and they're like, that was the best vacation we ever had. My kids are still talking about it. Then I know, good, I did my job. If I know that someone's kid is like crazy over Eeyore, then I'm going to do something special and add a little Eeyore here and there to, like, surprises here and there if I can, to surprise the kiddos. Or
That's awesome.
if they're a huge, Star Wars fan or whatever, I try to do it if I can.
That's awesome.
Well, I think even just what you mentioning Eeyore, I'll speak for him. Thanks for noticing me.
I know. I don't know why Eeyore came to my mind right there, but
It's because of George. George is our Eeyore. We pin the tail on him all the time.
Well, after I leave here, I'm going to head over to the cabins at Fort Wilderness and lay my eyes on those and kind of walk around. I want to see for myself. It's got some negative thoughts about the distance walking, and I really want to get my hands on and see it myself and kind of look around, see if I can even get in a cabin and do a little tour.
Ooh.
And then after that, I'm going to go back and catch the Magical Express tonight and head home to my family.
How long have you been there? How many days? I
got here Wednesday morning, so not long.
Okay.
Yeah, just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I'm leaving today.
Just enough to miss your family to get back to them. That's what happens to me.
Just enough for them to miss me.
Yeah. It's always just enough for me to come home and take care of what happened while I was gone.
My kids, I split my kids. One went with one set of grandparents, one goes with another. So they're like on a mini vacation themselves. So they're not missing me too bad.
Oh, if they're probably getting spoiled and having a great time.
Probably, I know. I put stuff in the fridge for my husband, like while I'm gone, and then I know, okay, he's gonna really miss me when I get back. But my mother has been actually bringing over food to my husband, so he's not missing me at all either. I'm like, hey.
Everyone's taking a little mini vacation, yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a great time. I've really enjoyed myself this trip. So I can't wait to come back in November, too.
Yeah, we enjoyed watching you. Like I'm gonna admit, I'm a little jealous because my trip got bumped, and I'm dying to go.
Well, why don't you? You just gotta do it sometimes,
Yeah, we were to go in December. We decided just to be safe, we bumped it out to February. And it looks like it's going to work out. We're not going to see Christmas, but the crowds are going to be low. And for me, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. February is a great time. It's one of my favorite months to come. The weather's really, really nice. So maybe what you'll have to do is come like right around the Mardi Gras time. You'll do Disney and then hop over and do Mardi Gras at Universal.
I've heard that is so much fun too.
It is. It really is fun. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, I'm like by New Orleans, so.
Yeah. So, can I ask you, what is your favorite ride at Walt Disney World? I ask everyone that.
I like Big Thunder. I like Pandora, but I think my favorite might be Everest.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I love Everest.
Gotta love that Disco Yeti.
I know, Disco Yeti. Woohoo!
But even if he doesn't move, he's still terrifying to look at.
You know what? I don't want them to ever fix it. I like Disco Yeti. Like, leave him the way he is. That's meant to be.
Yeah. That's the way he chooses to be. We'll just let him stay that way.
That's right. Otherwise we won't have, it'll be different. I like Disco Yeti.
So, Jennifer, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, so we, several ways. We have our business pages on Facebook. There's Dream Creators Travel by Julissa and Dream Creators Travel by Jennifer Gautreaux, myself. Then we have our Busy Moms Playing Disney Facebook group, and that probably is the easiest way. Busy Moms Playing Disney, and you don't have to be a mom. In fact, sometimes we think, should we change it? But It's catchy. So Busy Moms Playing Disney. And then we're in that group, and it's very easy just to click and contact one of us and message us, and we're here to help with any way. And our services are completely free to you. Disney Universal, they pay us to help make it easy, right? Because if it's easy,
Right.
then you're gonna come back again.
So they want peace of mind, they want convenience, they want a friend in this, they contact you.
Yes. Now, if you don't have Facebook, you can email us. My email is dreamcreatorstravel. I'm sorry. My email is travelbyjenniferg@gmail.com.
Travel by jenniferg@gmail.com.
That's right.
Make sure you
Forgot
put that in the show
I need
notes.
to go back and get some more of that coffee at Kona.
You know, I often throughout the day I kind of go, what is my email address? What is my phone number?
No, I can tell this is a good end to last day. I think my brain and my body are like, go home.
Yeah, there's always that point for me where I'm like, I'm done. I'm ready to go home now. I've had all the fun I'm gonna have. I need to sleep in my own bed.
Uh-huh. Yeah, again, expectations. Like, okay, I'm getting older, but it's still so much fun. Just walking around and not even pushing it is actually more enjoyable for me. So I know. Last night though, I would have done anything to have someone just wheel me home.
Yeah, there is a level of tired you hit at Disney. I don't think you can hit anywhere else. I think outside of Vegas.
But it's worth every second.
It is. It is. I come back so relaxed with so many happy memories, in such a good mood. I go to Disney and I come back ready to take on the world.
I think, you know what I think it is? I think the way our lives are nowadays, where we have so much on our to-do list, we wake up thinking, okay, what do we got to do today? What do we got to do today? And go, rush, talk to this person, email this person, check my messages. But we get here and we can just kind of focus on, I mean, it's like you're in the bubble. You're in a happy bubble. And all of a sudden you're not thinking about all those things. You're just thinking about fun things like, should we go to Everest or should we go to Pandora? If that's the toughest decision you have today, it's a pretty good day.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about it, because like you, I get up and the first thing I see is, oh, I got these emails to finish, I got these calls to make. I haven't had coffee yet. When I get to Disney, all that melts away. I am just happy and relaxed and just ready to have fun.
Okay, so I will tell you, coming here without kids, whole different ball game. Food and wine and the rides even, I'm not worried. Like, get your hands in the cart. Don't do that. Sit down. I'm just enjoying it on a whole new level and just kind of milling around food and wine and trying different foods. And that doesn't look good. And you go to the next one and everything looks good. And you just try a little here, try a little there. It's like a whole different experience than when I come with my family.
Who says you can't do Disney as adults only trip? I mean, it's
I'm gonna really need your help in the future, because I don't have kids, but I've got nephews who are going to be of age to take to Disney soon.
Yes.
I'm going to need a fairy godmother in my corner to help me with this, because I don't know what it's like to go with kids.
Oh, I got you covered.
Cool. You are going to be my fairy godmother.
Yes, I would love to.
Well, we're actually at the end of our hour, guys. Sorry. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. You're always welcome. Come back anytime you want.
I'd love to. Anytime,
Cool.
especially with coffee. All right,
Awesome.
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yay, that was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. So Dream Creators Travel, guys, they are the travel agency you want to go to. Like you said, she said, they will be your fairy godmother. They will everything you want.
Awesome. Well, without further ado, we had like 1.5 viewers, and I think that's very successful.
I think that's my fault. I think I must have done something wrong when I sent it out. But I'm going to cut that part out when this goes to audio. Thanks for making work for me.
Yeah.
Passengers, thanks so much for listening. George, take it away.
All righty.